From the top of the town at 715 Main Street in historic Deadwood, it's time for another episode of the DTC Blow and Smoke Podcast. Hello and welcome to episode number 66.
66.
That's 66 of the Deadwood. Look at Ethan's face. He's like, what is that?
He's like, no, cut, you fuckers. Jesus.
Deadwood Tobacco Company Blow and Smoke Podcast. I am Mike Candy Randy and
Hanson Pierce at the mic. How's it going, guys? We hope that you had a great last couple of weeks. Mr. Oscar was fucking phenomenal the last time we got to chat. Last time that we sat down, we were with Mr. Osgenner talking about cigars. I hope you guys learned a lot from him. We sure as heck did. Super funny guy, super nice guy, and glad that we got to be able to bring somebody of such stature on the podcast.
yes, and very funny. His Patel, that's Rocky Patel impression was very good. Of course, we always have his cigars in here. That's the Osphorus. See, look, it's like contagious.
It is contagious, yeah.
That's the Fursat, the Bosphorus, and the Aramis. Make sure you check those out in the humidor, and plus we're gonna have some other fun stuff as well. That's Ethan behind the board, mixing and mastering as always, and we're gonna kick it off. We forgot to ask him to put a camera on himself.
Yes.
Ethan, you have just returned to the mainland of the United States of America from a little vacation. Care to tell the folks what you were working on?
Yes. Again, I'll differentiate between trips and vacations. This was not a vacation. I was not sitting on a beach. But fantastic 2 weeks thereabouts in the country of South Africa, mostly in Cape Town. Went to go and hang with a friend who is shooting an epic documentary on the Tanda Choir, raised in one of the townships outside of South Africa, and it's all about kind of the divide between the 1% and all the stuff that they want you to see on the coast, all the epic stuff that all of the the vacationers get to see just over the mountains. There's 2.some million people, and there's a choir that is providing some amazing opportunities. They've got some notoriety, actually. They've been on stage with the big stage in Cape Town. Dave Matthews put them on stage.
Oh, sweet.
So they are known, and we're kind of documenting how the choir was put together and where they're going. And I think it's going to be something.
And so if people, I don't think we've ever mentioned it, at least not since I've been on here, if they want to follow your extracurriculars, your creative side, is it E. Burmeister Creative, or what are your socials?
So E. Burmeister, Facebook and Insta.
Super easy to spell, guys. Don't worry about it. As soon as you just sound it out phonetically, it's going to be right there at the top of your media search. So I know that there was a couple of would-be trying instances when you were out there. You care to share any of those with the audience?
You know, apart from the getting the shakedown through customs from a couple of very large women who took me in the back room.
Ooh. I know a couple of good stories that start like that, but continue.
Yeah. They wanted to see what was in my bag. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, so upon getting there, I think we were some of the first white people to actually spend that amount of time in this township. It's kind of a no-go. I mean, white people don't go there. So we actually got in from this kind of gatekeeper who is an advocate and making all of this happen. We were, kind of under protection the entire time. We have a ton of gear, and we're obviously outsiders. We did it, man. It's happening.
Nice. And then, as always, there's a little bit of beauty behind the scene of the destruction. Like, what was that like, seeing the dichotomy of this versus that when you're going through such like a not a war-torn, possibly a war-torn country, but the third world aspect.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, I've done a couple summers in Albania. Former Soviet satellite republic, which was just poor. Just poor.
Yeah.
This is fascinating because you have incredible wealth, but I mean, flying the drone, you can literally see the dividing line between the estates and greenery, amazing a quality of life, and then literally you jump on the other side of a gate, and you're in a township, and it's shocking because they are in these, sometimes 10 by 10 corrugated metal shacks next to incredible wealth. And so the compression of those two worlds it's amazing.
And then the story you told us when you came back, I'd share the cliff notes of it, that you needed some sort of, as you said, you were taken care of.
Yeah.
Tell them about the club.
So when we get in there, you kind of get some sense behind the scenes that they're watching out for you. But we were taken by this friend, this advocate, to it's the coolest outdoor nightclub that I've ever been in, with high-tech DJs, up on the stage, ton of lights and gear. There were, probably 500 cats in this place smoking hookahs, and the party was going down. And they're like, dude, you guys are going to attract a lot of attention. Everyone's going to want selfies, yada, yada, yada. And then I saw the kind of head of the choir get introduced to the owner. And they kind of tipped the cards on, this is the introduction. And when that happened, then they moved us up. And so now we're the white guys on the stage. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're sticking out anyways. You might as well just be up there for display.
Man. So it was really cool to kind of get that whole, like, oh, you guys are here not to exploit this community, but you're actually a part of doing something good for the community. And we're gonna baptize that. We're gonna sanction that. And welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Super cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I saw some shots. I mean, it was work for the first part, and then you did get a couple of days to go shoot some stuff, right? Off in the coast, or
Yes.
what is it, in the mountains?
So, I mean, the classic thing, if you're in Cape Town, there's all that iconic scenery. And, right, I mean, I've been, up and down the West Coast, United States, which is fantastic, but doesn't hold a candle, to be honest, to everything that's in Cape Town, where you can just keep going. Called the Garden Route, and it's all these kind of a linkage of all these beach communities along the Indian Ocean that go up and around towards Durban. And so we did 4 days of going out there and coming back. I mean, you don't realize that Victoria Bay is one of the world-class bays where they do surfing championships, and it's incredible, man. Yeah, so we get some time to fly the drone, get out, and if you pop into a city somewhere, you don't really have a sense of the country that you're in. So getting out, renting a car was revealing,
Sure.
And then to kind of like wrap it all back around, the pictures that you were showing me of that cigar cafe with all that really interesting, pre-40s in our area, anyways, a pre-40s kind of decorations and Art Deco.
Yeah.
Like what was that like? Was that in the middle of the ghetto, or was that, I don't know if it should be called a ghetto, a township, whatever. But was that like right in the middle of it, or was that in the ritzy
Yeah.
style?
So I think you're talking about the Deus Ex Machina
Yes.
place. So they are. Their artist who does their graphics is one of my favorite dudes. I've got his stuff all over my little man cave. So I had, in the back of my mind, I'd been to the place in Venice. Well, they only have, I think, 3, 4, maybe 5 different kind of headquarters around in the globe. I didn't realize that the Airbnb that we're staying at, literally right around the corner, is their shop in Cape Town. So it's super cool. They inhabit the original trading post of the Dutch East India Company trading deal. So it's from the 1700s, and it was the coolest fix-up that I would definitely office out of this place because it's just that cool. So you have this weird country with a ton of history, and these cats were right in the middle of it. And
Bunch of different cultural influences, some good, and then some not so good. Yeah.
A little of both.
A little both.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a lot of one and less of the other.
Pretty much. So if you want to check out some videos and footage of that, just go eBurmeister on all of the socials. And of course, the project is probably going to take a while to come to fruition. And if it does, what's the hope? What's the goal for this?
there's going to be some world premieres. So there's it's always a part of the deal on what do you do when. Hopefully it'll be done this fall, and it'll be in some film festivals, but not probably open to the public. He's going to try and world premiere it in a few locations in Cape Town, have the choir perform, and then, if there's the funds, it'd be really cool to bring at least some of the choir to the United States.
Sure.
So yeah, it's I'm not sure of the exact timeline, but
Right.
It'll start working its way out in the fall.
Good.
Well-
May I propose Deadwood, South Dakota for the United States premiere?
cool.
Yeah,
man.
that would be
Yeah, man.
cool. And if not, any red carpet that you go to, I know that you have a beautiful wife at home, but I've got a couple of gowns that are really catching dust in the closet. I would be happy to go arm in arm. If you don't mind a 6'6", bearded drag queen with you.
If we're doing blues festival stuff, we might as well have a film festival.
Absolutely.
That'd be cool as well.
Yeah, that'd
Yep.
be awesome.
That's one major project at a time.
Yeah.
Just one. Which leads us to, I guess, see, that's what's called a transition.
That's
And
what's
Ethan
good.
didn't
Yeah,
know
it
he was
is.
doing it.
God dang.
Deadwood Blues Fest is off and running on our YouTube and the
No, it's
socials.
still on and running. It's
On
not
and-
off.
on and running.
Yeah.
On and running,
No, it's
yes.
still going, guys.
It's
We
going
got you.
gangbusters. You can check it out. There's a little 2.5 minute thing that Ethan shot, just kind of me describing what was going on. Tickets are on sale now. Hey, I'll let you know in a little secret though. The VIP experience, that gets you the Friday night pre-party, all the stuff Saturday, the Saturday main stage with an unobstructed view, your own private deck, and of course Sunday brunch. Those are moving very, very quickly. So we're over half sold out on that in just 2 weeks. So if you're interested in those, and that is the package to get, make sure you go to deadwoodbluesfest.com. Click on the ticket link right there. All of the information, including a detailed schedule, is up there. So if you're interested and you want the high-end stuff and to hang out with us all weekend, make sure you do that. And if that's a little bit outside of your budget or not your experience, then hey, man, $49 will get you in the gate and all of the Saturday rounds across town. So check it out, deadwoodbluesfest.com. Not to beat a dead horse, because it's living and running.
It is living and running,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Just make sure you do that. And if any questions, you can always reach out to us, info@deadwoodbluesfest.com, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Also, hey, you want to save a couple of bucks? Walk into the shop. Buy your tickets right from the counter from us. Normally, I run that when I'm here. Consuela can do that as well, and Grimes as well. So make sure you stop in. If you have any questions, be happy to answer it. It's going to be a fun time, man. We're excited. We've got some great bands coming out, good friends of ours, new faces, lots of new faces as well. So that's my plug for that.
Okay, so as I'm not lazy myself, but for anybody that is lazy out
Yes.
there, can you run through the tiers for us real quick and what you get
Sure.
with each tier? That would be groovy.
Yep. We'll start with the easy part. You have to have a ticket. None of it is free. We have some very wonderful headliners, and they cost a little bit of money. So everything requires a ticket. Now, that said, your base ticket is $49. That's going to get you standing room. That's on Deadwood Street, Main Street, on the sides, the sidewalk by the gazebo of the Outlaw Square for the headlining show. That is on Saturday the 12th, and that starts at 5 o'clock our doors. They'll start soon after. However, you also get all of the Saturday activities. That will be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Different bands like, here's Chris Lager Band. Hector Achando won't be able to make it, unfortunately, because he got a great gig. We'll talk to him later on about this. Yep, Brandon Sprague's band, Arwela Mendoza, Mark Joseph and American Soul, Vince Converse and Big Brother, plus some brand new people that you've probably never seen around here. That's $49. That's your base price. Now you want a seat? No big deal. $69. You get an assigned seat. There's only 500 of those on the grass in Outlaw Square. Private section, no GA people running around you. You get your own seat. Now it's a concert. We can't guarantee that people in front of you won't stand up because they're having fun, but at least you get your assigned seat. You know exactly where you are. Speaking of having fun, party person, right up front. Limited to 250 is a standing party pit. You are literally at the stage. You'll be about 5 yards from the band, and you will have your own private bar that only those 250 people can access. So you want to dance, have a good time, be right up front. That is your ticket. Then the VIPs include all of the stuff I talked about. Friday night pre-party with La Aurora Cigars here. Sunday brunch at the Deadwood Mountain Grand. A seat on the Outlaw deck of the Silverado, the Franklin Veranda, or the Roxino patio. Those range from $249 to $299. You also get exclusive cigars crafted for the Blues Fest, T-shirt, poster, koozie, sticker, all that fun stuff included.
Damn,
so it's
that
a
sounds
great
like a
deal.
Great deal.
So anywhere from $49 to $299. Check it out at deadwoodbluesfest.com.
And the basic package, again, to reiterate, is the Saturday only. all of those activities.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And that's included in any of the ticket levels, and then the extra stuff for the VIPs. And you're not going to want to miss that, man. We have and there's going to be a special drink surprise that they are working on licensing right now, but we'll let you know that drink surprise will be here at Deadwood Tobacco on the Friday night of the VIP party.
Nice.
So lots of fun stuff happening.
Shit, that's awesome.
Yep. And people are coming out of the woodworks. We're getting emails. Big shout out to Greeley Blues Jam. They reached out to us there 1 month before our jam, and we're working on some co-oping with them, working on some marketing opportunities. And, man, it's a short drive from here, so we'll be happy to head down and party with them in June, and they can come back and return the favor in July. And there's a bunch of other ones out there as well. So just stay tuned to all the socials. We will continue to roll out all the info as it gets confirmed. And big thank you to Do Deadwood, bid number 8, Deadwood Gaming Association, for being the title sponsor of this. We appreciate their support. It wouldn't be possible without them. And, of course, Bid 9, Outlaw Square, La Aurora Cigars, Shiner Beer, and, of course, Deadwood Tobacco.
God, it's like a Adrian Brody
there you go.
speech at the end of the Oscars.
Yeah. It's almost, I prefer not at the Oscar, the Golden Globes, when Ricky Gervais was hosting. He's like, nobody cares. Get up here. Thank your mom, thank your agent, and your God, and fuck off.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. Thank you, Ricky Gervais.
Oh, gosh.
So there you go. Well, thank you for giving me some time for the Blues Fest.
Absolutely.
There we go. We don't have a good transition here, so we're going to read off the list.
What are you smoking, Randy?
Oh, yeah. So Pierce isn't feeling it today, and Ethan started his early because there were some technical issues with our software, so we're not doing the what are we smoking except for this. I'm smoking the traditional Asylum 13. Went with the 52 by 6 Toro shape. That's their standard on it. It's a little bit different because I've been on a Corojo kick. I've been smoking a lot of Corojo, a lot of Habano, a little bit of Connecticut. I've kind of fallen off of the Maduros and the heavy cigars. I don't know why. I had one, and I think it kind of didn't eat much and messed me up.
I feel like it's just the ebb and flow of your palate. Sometimes, I mean, if you get overstimulated on like a super heavy cigar, you kind of reel it back a little bit to get a little bit more of your flavor profile back, and then work your way back up.
The one thing I will say about this is it's the actual wrapper it's kind of. It's not really, it's kind of minerally, kind of dry, not in like a quick burning or not properly humidified cigar, but it's just a different feel and texture in your mouth. Whereas like a La Aroma de Cuba Connecticut has almost a waxy feel.
Yeah.
This one's very, very, kind of dries your mouth out, which is great because it means I get to drink more beer.
Salt that popcorn. Get that beer down.
Ethan, do you remember what you're smoking since we're talking about him?
All right. I do.
He's Googling it right now.
Oh, he is.
Telling tales out of school.
No,
While you're going, I am on my digital pacifier today. No, I actually had some dental problems going on, and I can't really do a cigar right now. So I'm sorry, guys. I would if I could, but I can't, so I won't. But hopefully that'll be rectified here within the month and get that taken care of. Otherwise, what are you smoking there?
La Aroma de Cuba Reserva.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
what I've got.
Yep. See, there. Speaking of full-bodied.
Yeah.
San Andreas. A skewer wrapper.
Just doing bullet points.
You know?
Yeah.
I always smoke them.
Punch.
And sometimes you, I don't know.
Well, I think we get
You want to
lost.
know more about what you always smoke.
Oh, of course. Well, and I think we always get lost in, so, like, the usual customer will come in here, they'll pick a stick, they'll sit down, they'll sit there and enjoy it, they'll have a conversation with their buddy, with their wife, whoever, and they actually get to sit down and enjoy it. I think that sometimes it gets lost on us because when we hit a busy season and you're on your second cigar of the day, you're not really paying attention because you've got podcast to think about, you've got the Blues Fest to think about, you've got all the other things that are going on that you need to think about, and then you're running behind the bar, you got a cigar hanging out of your mouth, but are you actually taking the time to enjoy it? No, it's just kind of part of the aesthetic that you want to portray to the customer, and so you have this thing hanging out of your mouth, but you don't really take the time to go, oh, that was a wonderful nuttiness that I felt in the back. And shit, another Shiner? Yeah, you bet. Fuck, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're always in a hurry, so you don't get to enjoy it as much.
Which is really funny because except, and I've noticed this when we get new product. We get new product all the time, just from manufacturers releasing new stuff. Grimes and Bill playing with what they want to carry in the humidor, and then. Like you said, especially Friday and Saturday, you get in a groove, and then you pop something you haven't had in your mouth, and you're like, oh. Like I remember the last time, the one that did that, we have it in there here right now, is the Aganorsa Cerberus. Yeah, triple Corojo, and you just take a couple of drags, and you're like, huh, that's. I mean, and it might be because of overstimulation. Like I feel sorry for like the master distiller at Jack Daniel's. I mean, how much Jack Daniel's can you drink until you have to find something else? Well, there you go. That's a special one. So you just had it the other day too, didn't you? The Cerberus.
Yep. Delightful, I will say. Yes, which actually kind of brings us to our next little section. We wanted to have a little fun with this one and talk about the different kinds of customers that you will get in here. We just got done doing the Mardi Gras weekend, which is kind of the kickoff to our season. It's kind of the soft open, if you will, for the spring going into summer. So you're decently busy, but you're not balls to the wall, getting your ass kicked the whole time busy.
Yep.
But you still encounter your special sort of people. And I thought we kind of wanted to talk about that just because, it's not all fun and games. It's still a business. It's still a bar. You still have to deal with X, Y, and Z of the imbibers, if you will. Yes. Well, what's your favorite person to come in? So
we kind of talked about. Look, she's calling me. Nope, in the middle of the podcast. I should have answered. Man, I should have answered. So we were just kind of going through and it's funny because it's not representative of everyone. So we're not Judgy Judgerson, just kind of a little bit. My least favorite, and this is going to sound sexist and racist, so you're welcome.
Ooh.
Wine drunk, middle-aged white women.
Oh, yeah. No, that's, yep.
That is my least favorite intoxicated customer, or almost intoxicated customer, because we wouldn't serve you if you were already intoxicated.
Correct.
Yeah, they're just a special kind of demanding and...
Just a touch more volume on those two. I feel like
a touch more volume.
The first thing that you'll hear is, "Oh, we're here! Can you believe we're at the cigar shop?" Sorry, I didn't want to do that right into the microphone because that is actually what you hear. And it's not all. It's just those certain ones. And maybe to give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe it's the first time they've gotten to drink in months, and they've gotten away from the kids, and they've gotten away from everybody else. But that is not where we stand.
Nope. Doesn't mean it's not annoying.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You didn't mean it to be that way.
No.
Right.
But it is.
But typically, I also have noticed that they're in small groups. You're not getting 15 of them. You're getting like 4 or 5. Yeah. And typically, I've always noticed that there's one that's kind of taking care of the rest.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one who makes sure that everything's fine. Make sure they remember to leave a tip.
Yep.
Sometimes they'll bring their glasses up to the bar, which is always appreciated.
And then they just look at you and go,
yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
So I will take that over.
Oh, do you even know who I am? Do you know who I am? Seriously, do you even know what a fucking Cape Cod is? My least favorite is we have beer and wine based liquor here. We do not have a whole array of scotches and bourbons and all that other stuff. So
because that would make it worse.
You can mitigate a little bit of that with that, but in my tenure of bartending, which has lasted more than 10 years, it's been 27 years behind the bar. Anyways, that has always been my favorite. The super intoxicated, as soon as they walk in, order a drink, you slide them a water because you're not going to give them a drink, and then they do you know who I am? You even know what a fucking Cape Cod is? Yes, I do know both of those, and you are the guy. Let me guess the name who's getting kicked the fuck out because I'm not dealing with your shit tonight. So the do you know who I am, or the I know your owner. That is so crazy. He signs my checks. I know him very well, too. There's only 6 people that work here. Crazy.
Yeah. It happened to me at last Deadwood. A couple comes up. Maybe not a couple, just 2 people. And they're dressed in Batman stuff. And they look at me and they go, "I could use a Brooklyn hooker." And I thought it was a line from Batman. And I was like, and then I was in a good mood. I'm like, yeah, I'll go for a Brooklyn hooker too. And then they're just kind of looking at me and they're like, "No, we need Brooklyn hookers." And I was like, I think Grimes was working. I think it was Grimes, yeah, I was yelling. I'm like, "Hey, what's a Brooklyn hooker?" And then they're like, I'm like, "What can I get you?" And then she finally drops her little thing, goes, 2 Brooklyn hookers? And I was like, "What is that?" It's a drink. I'm like, "Beer and wine, honey, beer and wine."
Yep. Yeah. And being the Midwest Vegas that we are, we get quite a few of the bachelor and bachelorette parties. And don't get us wrong, man. I will say, first off, we love to have new smokers come in here because how do you grow a community without having the newbies come in and enjoy their experience? That said, sometimes it's their expectations when they come in here into a cigar bar, which we have a sign on the front that clearly says that we are a cigar bar, and they get about halfway in, they get one drink, and then they go, I can't even do this, it's so smoky.
I can't breathe.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What did you expect?
Yeah.
No offense or anything, but we're not all blown into duberizers like we're 16-year-olds smoking pot in the bathroom. We're actually smoking cigars, and the smoke goes up into the air and then dissipates and then returns. It's just some of the ones, and it's I'll go with the expectation part of this. The funniest thing to me and what blows me out of the water is the expectation. Servers and bartenders, you'll know this from forever. You'll get a drink order or whatever. You bring it out to the table. You hand the whiskey over to the dude. You hand the daiquiri over to the woman. And it is not that way. The woman is drinking the bourbon on the rocks. The guy is drinking the daiquiri. Same thing in the cigar world. You get some ladies in here that look like maybe they don't know a whole lot of cigars. And it's really bad to have that in the back of your head like, oh, God, here we go. Yeah. But you go in there, and I do my usual spiel, and I'm like, oh, what are you looking for? Sweet or traditional? They say sweet, and I'm like, awesome. We have over here this. If you like honey, we got you. If you like vanilla, we got you. If you like grape fucking bubblegum, we got you. And the girl's just like, yeah, I just want a Padron. And I'm like, oh, no, yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Or the bachelor's parties come in, and everybody gets like a small sweet, a little cigarillo or something like that, and then one guy just has to be the big swinging dick. God. And he's like, I want the most expensive cigar you have. I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
You really don't. No. He's like, no, I do. And I'm like, why? Well, because it's the best. I'm like, not necessarily. Right. You know, it's good, obviously, but man, what do you want? He goes, whatever you got, something strong. And Ethan did this to me at the old shop 5-6 years ago. And he was like, no, something strong. I'm like, are you sure? He goes, yeah. And then you sell them, I don't know, an ESG or something like that. Yep. And then 20 minutes later, they're on their way out the door. You go to clean up the ashtray, and they have smoked like 3/8 of an inch. Yep. Like the dude just threw away $42.
Yeah.
But hey, well, happy for your $42.
He did get to take his Instagram picture with the cigar hanging out of his mouth while it was smoking. Yep. Believe us when you come in here, guys. We're not trying to be assholes about anything. If we think that you're going to enjoy something different, we're going to steer you to that way. So maybe not the $40 cigar is for everybody, right? But maybe you'll really enjoy a cool brew, which is coffee, chocolate, and mint. Or maybe you'll enjoy a nice Connecticut. Maybe you'll enjoy a cabinet over a $42 cigar that you have no idea what the flavor profile is. Just let us know, and we can kind of guide you into a good cigar for you. We want return customers. We don't want the guy that's like, that asshole sold me a fucking cigar and it tasted like shit, and completely leave out the part where that's what they asked for.
On the flip side, we do very much appreciate all of our good customers that walk in and go, do you have any Padron Family Reserve 46 Maduros? We love you very, very much.
Yes, we do.
Please keep coming back. Oh, and they'll be here in just a couple of days. And we also picked up the Padron Black 97, which I have not smoked and was told we cannot have them. We have to buy them because there's just one box, 10 count, delicious, full-bodied cigar. So that's going to be a new product. By the time this airs, it'll be on the shelf. So get your ass in and pick that up.
And if you feel so inclined, you can buy a stick for the staff, and we do not mind. Please stay away from the flavored.
Yes, indeed. Well, can we switch it out? Yeah. Speaking of the staff and appreciation, guess what is just around the corner? Ethan, this will come out before St. Pat's, right?
Yep.
Perfect. St. Patrick's Day. No, that's Cinco de Mayo. Do an Irish jig or an Irish song. You got one? No?
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. No, is that not Irish?
That's as close as you can get. Yeah. It's going to be the 14th and 15th this year. The pub crawl is going to be on the 15th. We are sponsoring a clan. So I believe when you go register for your clans on Saturday for the pub crawl, ask for the one that's DTC. I do not know the name of it. And, of course, we're going to have our regular cast of customers too. Yeah, a regular cast of special guests in here.
Yes.
Michelle from CLE. She'll be slinging those Asylum 867s and cool brews and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. And behind the bar,
Maxwell.
Yep.
Dibs on the redhead. You guys stay away from my man. Oh, my God.
And
people on this podcast are really going to start to wonder about me, aren't they?
well, especially after they see what you wear. Kilt or skirt? What are we wearing?
Kilt.
There you go. The difference is?
I'm a dude mostly. Yeah. It's pretty much a tradition that's where I start my kilt wearing for the year is during the St. Patty's Day celebration. Maxwell behind the bar usually tosses one on too. Hope to God we can get Shorty back in that kilt, and we have Shorty.
Yep.
Hey, dude, this is gonna be a fun time.
Shorty is bringing Aries. Of course, you know Aries. His big old buffalo of a pit bull, and there's rumor that he might be bringing his Cane Corso puppy. Now these aren't his. These are adopted dogs that from his Shorty's Rescue Inc., who he is hoping would be his next dog to be able to travel around and educate and stuff like that. So Shorty will be here. Of course, he represents Diesel Cigars, his own line of the Shorties. Maxwell is from Shiner Beer, and on stage, they become quickly one of your favorites and ours. Great party band, Denizens of the Deep. It's going to be funky blues, jammy all night long. When they did when they did Deadwood, they all dressed up in costume. Great guys. And so make sure you come in at 8 o'clock, and the music starts both nights on Friday and Saturday, 14th and 15th. So make sure you hit that, because that is like that's our official, oh, here comes summer.
Yes.
Even though we have April in between. But that's when we have Forks, Corks, and Kegs, i.e., the wine-drunk white middle-aged women.
I was just going to say, we just covered that topic. You didn't know that until we just released that, though. Oh, man.
Oh, let's see. What else is on our list? Because we literally... So if you haven't noticed, we're just kind of ramping today. Buffalo Chip poster model. That's going to be on April 11th. Here at Deadwood Tobacco Company, the Flanstones will be on stage, and that will be a project of X-Rock, the rock station out of Rapid City, and of course the Buffalo Chip. Ladies, you know the drill. You come on up here. Fireball will be your MC. You answer a couple of questions. You get a pass to any concert of your choice at the Buffalo Chip. Plus, dudes, you're not out. You can't be in the contest, but all you have to do is show up, put your name in the basket. Somebody that night will also win a pass of their choice to a Buffalo Chip concert. That is all brought to you by Twisted Tea, so we'll be swilling on the tea as well that night. So it'll be a fun time, and I don't think Pierce was at the last one, so it'll be enjoyable.
No, but that is where I'm going to let everybody know what kind of bikini I wear underneath the kilt and the Dixon, so stay tuned for that. Harry McHarryton coming back at you.
Exactly.
No, that's not going to happen, but super funny to talk about.
And last but not least, before we run away, episode number 66, summertime is coming, believe it or not. We just got 6 to 8 inches of snow today as we shoot this. But we are doing some fun stuff with some new drinks. Pierce mentioned we have wine-based spirits. What are we looking at, Pierce?
We are looking at whatever you concoct with wine-based spirits. We have Grimes, actually.
Oh, wait.
Mr. Grimes is actually making a surprise appearance because he won't do anything on the podcast. So, this is our new likeness of Grimes. He'll be joining us in the podcast room. Sometimes I'll be sitting on him. Sometimes he'll just be right by my head. Anyways, Mr. Grimes has been working on a cocktail list. We've got fun. It's all going to be basically, the booze, the juice, the mixture, but we're going to try to make it fun. We've both been bartenders for a very long time, so we're going to get creative with it and make sure that you have some cocktails available for your imbibing.
And it'll be your standard fare that you can find, like your margaritas and your Bloody Marys and your, screwdrivers and things of that nature. And I hope Grimes will take my advice on this. So I've lived in Deadwood for a long time, and I have seen places come and go. Every single one of them puts a sign in the window that says, the best Bloody Mary in Deadwood. Every one of them claims that. So I think we should tell the truth. And we'll put up a sign that says, the worst Bloody Mary in Deadwood. And I bet we sell the shit out of them.
Oh, yeah, dude.
There you go.
The okayest Bloody Mary you've ever had. Come on down to Deadwood Tobacco Company.
It's the same ingredients as every other bar in town. That's actually, we're probably, by the time this is out, we'll be soft launching those things. So be sure to come on in and ask for them. There's a big screen on our TVs above the bar with advertising what they are. Really great price points, too. We're not going to charge you $9-10 like some places in town do.
Indeed.
And
also, it does give a new opportunity for the people that don't drink. I've noticed a couple of women with child coming in lately, and it's kind of nice to have something besides like just soda or the root beer or an NA beer. They actually can get a mocktail made by one of us behind the bar, so at least they can feel part of the group and enjoy and watch their boyfriend slam 12 beers while they only have one mocktail. It's a whole thing. We love it here.
Absolutely. And then they'll talk about how they got outflopped on the poker table and they had them dead to rights, and then they pulled it out at the end, and we never hear anything like that.
No, and then we have the dealer that comes in and explains that that's not what happened. Thank you, sir. You make my life fun.
All right.
All right.
I think we've been yammering enough.
We have.
We got a little, we tell the truth here. People want to look behind the curtain. Ethan was gone on his non-vacation for a while, and I've been focusing on getting the Blues Fest up. And well, it's really impossible for Pierce to do a podcast by himself. So
Very true.
we're going to throw this one up there. All the details, of course, are in there, and be looking out. We'll be back on a regular schedule. As soon as we can get a couple more of these in the can, we're looking at every Tuesday. Ethan, is that what we decided?
That's it.
Every Tuesday, brand new material up on our YouTube, and soon, Pierce, they can also get it.
Oh, on all the audio stations. So you can look us up on iTunes, you can look us up on Spotify, you can look us up on Podbelt or whatever the hell else they came up with in the last 2 years that I have not been paying attention. But we'll be able to be on your favorite podcast platform in audio, obviously, if you'd like to look at us. Who wouldn't? Keep watching on YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe, smash that share button. Get it out to all your people that know that they like cigars and everything else. We want to get this growing a little bit, and coming down the pipe, more fun things we're not ready to mention yet, but we do have some fun things lined up for you, so stay tuned.
I think we should probably give them a little bit of an incentive to subscribe and comment on this episode, don't you think?
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Give them a little bit of something? Yeah. So let's see. What should we send them? We got T-shirts, we got hats, we got cigars. And, we got a lot of local listeners, but they're already here. We got a bunch of people from outside.
Right.
I don't know what we should do. What do you think we should give away?
Grimes?
The real Grimes or the Grimes
Oh,
pillow?
no, yeah. No, we can do the Grimes pillow.
The Grimes pillow. You can go sleep with them. All right. I'll tell you this. I want to make you a deal here, but you have to come. These are non-transferable, so here's the deal. The 10th person, that's not a lot of comments, man. We can do this. The 10th person to comment on the YouTube, not the link on our Facebook, not our social media, 10th person to comment on the YouTube, Blues Fest. I'll get you 2 passes, GA passes to the Blues Fest, so you can come with us on July 12th. You do have to be here. Can't win them for a buddy, so make sure you're going to be here July 12th. 2 GA passes to the Blues Fest. Comment number 10.
$100 worth of shit right there.
$100.
Fucking phenomenal.
And after our great taxes and fees in this state, we'll get you hooked up. 10th person to comment Blues Fest. We will get that for you, and that's, of course, right away as soon as this goes up online. So there you go. Our gift to you.
That's very nice of you. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in once again, keeping us alive here. Make sure to, again, like, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with your friends. We just want to make this as big as possible so we can do the more fun things that we have in mind for this. But until next time, see you later. Word up, fuckers. Peace.